Good morning, everybody. This is Christy from the Be the Light YouTube channel. I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I send you love. I have been working so hard this week trying to get information about what I have been actually being given from Source. This has been a really difficult task for me. I'm receiving information and I am taking in information and I don't know how to give it back. This is as a result of what is actually taking place within me. And today I hope I am simplifying it with what I am going to give you right now. It is just a different version of what I am talking about or what I have been given. And it's about activating the tree of life within us. For those of you who don't understand, there are and I'm trying to get my diagram here. So I apologize. Bear with me. In the tree of life, there are a set of doorways, gateways. That have to be open and activated. Sorry, I am trying to calculate. Which, there are, and I'm not going to actually it's basically about integrating the laws of what the tree of life represents, certain aspects. And so what I have actually been guiding towards has been, again, I'm being moved towards knowledge that I have not had in the past 2 years here of my process. And Monday, the 14th of September, will be an anniversary to my awakening process. It is a major milestone for me, and I would love to find out, and I'll have to go back to my diaries and see what actually took place last year on September the 14th. But anyway, I wanted to kind of talk about something. And this is where I was guided towards today, and I don't even know how I came up here to this point. In religion, or in certain aspects of religions, or Christianity, other types of religion as well, in Christianity itself, there are several parts of an individual. We have, for the most part, without going into deeper spiritual knowledge, we have the body, the soul, and the spirit. We're going to keep it at 3 levels here. But we know that when we are dealing with the spirit part, there's more to it than just the spirit. There are, I guess, subcategories to the spirit. The body, of course, we know, is our vessel. It's for our 5 senses, which means we are able to see, touch, hear, smell, see, touch, hear, smell, and taste, excuse me. It is the most visible part of our being. It is our outwardly part of our being and how we reside here in this physical realm. Our soul, it is unseen, but it is just as real. Our soul deals with the psychological realm. In fact, the Greek word for soul is psyche, which is the root word of psychology. Our soul is composed of our mind, which enables us to do things like think, reason, consider, remember, and wonder. Our emotions, which enables us to have feelings like happiness, sorrow, anger, relief, and compassion. And our will, which enables us to choose and make decisions. Our mind, emotion, and will make up our soul, which makes up our personality and who we are from within. But when we are even more than just a body with a soul, we have a part that is so much deeper, which is our spirit. This is the deepest part of our being. With our spirit, we can be in contact with the spirit realm. We can be in contact with God and whatever else is available to you with your open mind. And my teachings originated with the Bible. So in John 4:24 it says, God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truthfulness. It's when we tap into our true spirit side that we can be connected. In John 3:6, it tells us that we are born of the Spirit. So the purpose of this is to integrate the spirit into the body and the soul. This is how you truly become born again. This is where the true baptism takes place. And I have mentioned this in some of the other videos that I have talked about, that this is what it means to be baptized if you are a Christian and or have a certain religious background. But that's what it's actually talking about, that you are being reborn and therefore live within the spirit self of you. So every day, at every moment, we have a choice that we can make. We can live by the old person who is using the mind, which is associated with the soul, your personality, which is everything that you have learned on your own, or you can live from the spirit side, which is of the Christ side. And now you are acting on a will, capital W, that is not your own any longer. It is of the Spirit. Of the Spirit. And by doing that, we are an expression of Spirit Himself, of God Himself. So now I am going to go to the teachings of Egypt and what the Ankh is all about. The Ankh acted as an instrument of the gods for feeding and activating the divine soul. Now, divine soul meaning it's actually the spirit of it and of the individual. When you look at the Ankh, though, it's in the shape. It has a rounded crown part with a cross. This is actually embedded within our brain. The middle section is where the rounded part of the Ankh is considered to be where the the pineal gland is. And the cross represents the crucifixion that the spirit has risen within you. Now, what makes sense here about this is that it talks about breathing work. The breathing, when you look back in some of the Egyptian images, it shows was it raw? Ka. I don't know. That bird. God. Please forgive me. I have read so much and I can't remember these days. I am taking in so much information and my memory is not serving me well. But anyway, they're inhaling the essence of whatever the Ankh is doing for them. And that signifies the flow of energy that we take in. When our nasal passages have been cleared, and I actually experienced this a week or so ago, where I felt the energy that rose within with the nadis clear and break free both sides of my nasal passages. To be able to take in a breath and to release breath out is essential to the flow of life and creation. And each nostril works with the left and right side of the brain, which is also the masculine or the feminine within. Now, how does this relate? We are still in this activation of activating. If you were to have the Ankh sitting within your crown, it has, again, where the cross goes from ear to ear, kind of. It is, and we are activating still the imbalancing both of our the hemispheres of our brain and activating the side chakras. So I don't want you to get discouraged, and I express this a lot, that we are activating the pineal gland still. Because there is such a lengthy amount of information and a lengthy amount of lessons that we have to work with, we are always going from activation to activation to activation. So the cycle of learning, understanding, and integrating is always being taken place. So the opening of our pineal gland might have taken place, early on in this month or even last month whenever I made those videos about it. And for it to actually be fully activated to its proper use, for you to actually see clearly, there's a whole lot more that has to take place to complete the activation. And that's why it seems to be such a lengthy process, because we are going from pineal gland, and this is an example, we're going from the pineal gland, opening and activating and doing lessons that pertain to that. We're going to the pituitary gland, opening and activating. We're going to the bindu, we're going and activating side chakras, left and right side of the brain. And we're also going back down into the body, because the body connects to the mind. As below, so above. As above, so below. It works together. And I got a little distracted this week, or discouraged, excuse me, because a lot has been taking place, like I said, and it's been very quick, yet there are periods of silence in between. I was trying to find my patience. I really was. Until yesterday, I just came straight out and asked, well, where am I? Because I feel lost. Because I don't know what's happening, and I feel, and this is also, I'm feeling lost again because I'm about to jump. I also felt insecure a little bit. I had a brief moment before bedtime the other day where I felt like a human being who was very limited. And remember, when you feel those types of emotions that come out of nowhere, or you feel a sense of a deep depression, almost like mentality comes on out of nowhere for no reason, and it could still last for a couple of days or be very brief, it is because we are about to level up again. But then there is going to be a period of silence. And I see this and I try to remind myself the silence is kind of like a test and an initiation part. Don't say a test, because I failed that test as a child in school. An initiation. Can you pass this initiation to get into the club that you want? And now, having said that, I did receive, or I did see a type of an initiation page, kind of like an invitation. And we will get an invitation to ascend higher, if and when we are ready. If God, Source, Creation sees that we are dedicated and this is what we want, we receive it. But in that receiving part, we have to wait. And we're going to be and test is the only word I can come up with. They're going to see. They're going to sit back and wait and see. What are you doing in this brief silence? What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your mind? What are you doing with your words, your actions, your heart? What's within you? And can you defeat what comes up out of it? And so I hope this kind of helps. I tell you, I haven't had so much knowledge come in the way that it has, to the point that it is just impossible to explain, like I have here lately. Because it's at the advanced levels here. We are really tapping into advanced levels of understanding, of receiving, which is going to integrate, upgrade your DNA to higher levels than that has been activated or upgraded in previous lives. I have been told the amount of DNA activation, and it's something that I can't find any information about. But it is more than what I have been reading about. I've been trying to do more research, and I'm asking for more knowledge on that. So I hope this helps as best, I gave it as best as I possibly could. And and of course, as more information comes in, I will give it to you as best as I possibly can as well. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.